All right, let's talk about CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud, a lot was made of his rough first preseason performance, so there were going to be a lot of eyes on him as he is now getting another preseason game under his belt, and this one was a lot better. It really was. I thought he did a lot really well in this one. There were still some complaints. I still have some nitpicks about this performance for sure, but let's just talk about what I liked about it. As in, start off talking about what I liked about it. Don't worry, we will get to the nitpicks as well, but yeah, let's just get into it. Let's start off with this play. It's going to be an interesting play where, CJ Stroud is going to be actually running a play action and then rolling out towards the bottom of the screen. And you see the route that he's going to want to throw to here, which is totally one that can work on a play like this, right? I mean, you get the linebackers to move in due to the play action, but then when Stroud rolls out, it'll be an easier angle because he's also closer towards the bottom of the screen. So, okay, on paper, play that can work. Stroud runs this play action, fakes the handoff, and goes towards the bottom of the screen, throws off balance, and you have an open player. You could argue this is NFL wide open, right? I mean, there's a window, but it's not the easiest throw either. I mean, you do have to kind of put this one on the money, put this one in a spot where it can be caught, and you're throwing off balance. So I don't know if I would consider this like the highest degree of difficulty throw, but it's certainly not an easy throw. I don't know, maybe it's like a 7 or 8 out of 10 type of throw. And as you see, Stroud hits it. They're able to pick up the first down. Again, the difficulty of being able to make that throw while off balance, definitely a tougher throw, and a good job by Stroud of being able to make that throw. And it wasn't just him making highlight reel level plays. There was also stuff like this where what's going to happen is this is going to be a zone coverage play. You see the route that he's going to want to look towards. But here's why this route can really work is this appears to be a cover 6 that Miami is in, meaning that there isn't really a player underneath kind of outside the numbers on that side of the field. So there will be a throwing lane for Stroud to look at, and I think Stroud notices this. Watch how he takes the snap, and once he reads the play, he does something really smart where I think he was always planning on going over here and throwing to that receiver. I think that's what he was doing, just given how quickly he looked over there, but he kind of looked towards nobody in particular before doing this. And those are the kind of little things that a lot of rookies don't do, is just understanding that you do have to some degree, use your eyes to your advantage, and you can't give away what you're doing. If you just look towards where you want to throw to, people will notice that, especially when they're in zone coverage. But, that little thing is definitely something you like to see out of a rookie. Stroud also puts the throw right on the money. So again, the throw itself, not that difficult, but did some nice little things to help make it a little more open. And you have to figure that in the regular season, those little things will become so much more important. Again, I thought this one was another one of a good play where it's going to be it's a man coverage play, and you see the route on the screen. There is two safeties deep on this play, but given the fact that it's going to cut before the safety, really, this is a one-on-one matchup. So watch how, when Stroud takes the snap, he is going to fire in that direction, and it's really well timed. I really thought his timing was on point in this game. He was making his throws when he should be making his throws, and kind of, really looked NFL ready, I guess is what I would say, on a lot of these plays. Watches when he pushes it down the field, that's right on the money. And again, if he doesn't time that one perfectly, or he doesn't make that one accurately, that is not a completion. And these are the kind of things we saw when he was at his best at Ohio State, was just consistently hitting on certain plays, which is what I thought we saw from him, certainly at times in this game. Now, we can go over here. I have some nitpicks. I have some complaints. This was not a perfect day from CJ Stroud, but we had these couple plays are really just, I wouldn't call them like, horrendous mistakes. Kind of similar to how I thought his first performance, his week 1 preseason performance, was a lot of him making some fixable errors, but kind of looking like a rookie. We definitely saw flashes of like, oh yeah, this guy is a rookie player. Something like this, which happens all the time, but it's still something you would like to see not happen. It's a 4th down and goal for the Houston Texans. So okay, going for it, why not? Let's see what he can do in a big spot here where it says the first down marker is at the 6-yard line, but given where the ball is snapped, it looks, like it's clearly a yard further away from that. But anyway, watch what's going to happen here. Stroud takes the snap, and he's expecting a receiver to run a route going towards the sideline. Instead, that player just stopped. So just a miscommunication. That's entirely what that was. He didn't miss the throw. That's where Stroud was trying to put it, or at least in the area of where Stroud was trying to put it. That was just total miscommunication on that one. So, okay, again, is this Stroud's fault? Is this the player he was trying to throw it to's fault? We really don't know, but, it's something you want to see get cleaned up regardless of whose fault it was, and that's why you do this in the preseason, right? That's the point of the preseason. Make the mistakes now so you don't make them later on. Also, this one where Stroud doesn't take the snap cleanly and then kind of throws it into the dirt, kind of really, I think, panicked a little bit, might be what happened there, which, I kind of understand. He is a young player, all of that stuff. You still would probably like to see him, just field the snap cleanly. Yes, it was a bit of a tough snap, so I don't know how much blame you put on him for that. But even if you put no blame on him, he could have, settled himself a little bit easier, and he still had an opportunity to make a catchable throw. But at that point, he kind of, hurried up the throw and threw off balance, which, again, we have talked about how that is kind of one of his biggest weaknesses we saw in college, is when he's under pressure, things go a lot worse. But again, these aren't necessarily anything that I would say were disastrous type plays. We talked about how I felt the game moved fast for him after his first preseason performance. Still a couple flashes of the game moving fast for him here. So yeah, as a whole, what did I think of Stroud's performance? There was another miscommunication that I didn't show in there, and started our last drive before the end of the half. That happened, but as a whole, that's mostly what I saw, was him just having a pretty consistent day out there, hitting the throws that you would want to see him hit, doing a couple little things that I liked. He also had a couple plays where he was going through his progressions nicely, I thought, from what I could see on the broadcast angle. So there's one that I thought was pretty good, but I couldn't get a good angle of it to show. But there was another one that was very good. So at least I think it was very good. So yeah, those are kind of my thoughts of CJ Stroud. This is a lot more impressive of a performance. And I guess in one hand, if I said, hey, a bad first performance isn't a big deal, I also can't sit here and say, well, now the good performance is a big deal, right? Because again, it still is a small sample size. That works both ways. You do have to be consistent, but it is nice to see him showing flashes of what we know he can do, right? I do think that he kind of got his welcome to the NFL moment in his first preseason game, and then again, he's going to make rookie mistakes. He's a young player, and he's there's definitely a bit of rawness to him. He's very young. He's 21, right? He is he's young for a rookie in general. He's not just a rookie. He's young for a rookie. So you expect to see that. You expect to see that on tape, but you also hope you can see the positives. And I think in this performance, we saw a good chunk of positives along with still a couple of negatives. So a massive step in the right direction for Stroud. That's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. What are your thoughts on CJ Stroud? Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.